What if the very thing you've been begging the universe for is being held back? Not to punish you, but because you're not quite ready to receive it. Let that sink in for a moment. This isn't about cosmic cruelty or some twisted divine waiting game. It's about preparation, the kind that happens in the quiet, unseen spaces of your soul, where the real alchemy occurs, where longing becomes wholeness, and desperation transforms into sacred readiness. You see, the divine feminine's journey toward reunion isn't a straight path, it's a spiral. Just when you think you've mastered surrender, another layer of the onion peels back, revealing deeper fears, older wounds, more subtle ways you've been giving your power away. And right at the threshold of union, just before the door swings open, the universe administers one final test, not to trick you, but to ensure you can hold what you've been asking for. This is where most stumble, not because they're unworthy, but because they mistake the test for rejection. That silence, that distance, that last-minute obstacle that makes you want to scream at the heavens. It's not abandonment. It's the final initiation, the sacred pause before the symphony begins. So let's talk about what's really being asked of you in these crucial moments. Not the surface-level spiritual bypassing of just trust the process, but the gritty, embodied wisdom of what it means to stand at the edge of your becoming and choose, once and for all, to step into the love you've been chasing. Because here's the secret they don't tell you in those fluffy twin flame memes. Reunion isn't something that happens to you. It's something you grow into. And the final test? It's simply the universe's way of asking, have you become the match for what you've been praying for? Your answer changes everything. You've prayed, you've manifested, you've analyzed every synchronicity until your brain feels like a conspiracy theorist's bulletin board. And yet, silence. No call, no text, no sudden reappearance of your twin flame, sweeping you off your feet like some long-lost rom-com finale. Just waiting. And the more you try, the further away they seem. Here's the cosmic joke. The moment you stop clutching the universe's wrist, demanding answers, is the moment it hands you everything. Think of surrender like trying to remember a dream. The harder you force it, the faster it dissolves. But when you relax, when you stop trying, the details float back effortlessly. Your twin flame journey works the same way. You've been conditioned to believe effort equals reward, but divine timing laughs at hustle culture. This isn't a job application, it's a sacred dance. And right now, the universe is asking you to stop leading. Ever watched a toddler insist on buttoning their own coat? Fingers fumbling, frustration mounting, all while the parent waits, knowing they could do it in seconds. That's you right now. The divine has already aligned the reunion. Your only task, release the death grip on the how, when, and why. Let's be real. Surrender isn't some blissful Zen state where you float through life, tossing rose petals into the wind. It's messy. It's waking up at 3 a.m., wondering if they've forgotten you. It's biting your tongue when well-meaning friends say, maybe it's time to move on. It's deleting the 10th draft of a text you'll never send. But here's the secret. Doubt isn't failure. It's part of the test. Every time you choose faith over fear, every time you whisper, "Even if I don't understand, I trust you." You're not just waiting, you're transforming. The divine isn't withholding love to punish you. It's rewiring you to recognize that this ache isn't absence, it's preparation, because true union demands wholeness, not desperation. This isn't passive waiting, it's active release. It's saying, "I love you enough to let you go. I trust the universe enough to stop micromanaging." If it's meant to be, no force on earth can stop it, and if it's not, no amount of begging will make it real. You'll know surrender has truly taken root when their silence no longer feels like rejection, but sacred pause. You catch yourself daydreaming about your own future, not just ours. You laugh at the absurdity of once obsessing over their Spotify playlists. And then, when you least expect it, the universe winks. A text, a call, a random encounter. Not because you made it happen, but because you stopped trying to. The divine feminine's ultimate test isn't about endurance. It's about sovereignty. Will you cling to the shore or finally trust the current to carry you home? You know that feeling when you're starving and suddenly even stale crackers taste like a gourmet meal? That's what happens when you seek love from outside yourself. You become so desperate for scraps of affection that you forget you're worthy of the whole damn feast. Here's the uncomfortable truth. If you're still waiting for your twin flame to complete you, you're not ready for them. Your twin flame isn't just a lover, they're a reflection. And right now, the universe is holding up a mirror, forcing you to stare at the parts of yourself you've been ignoring. That gnawing emptiness when they're silent, that's your void, not theirs. The anxiety when they pull away, that's your fear of abandonment, not their rejection. This isn't cruelty, it's mercy. Imagine trying to pour water into a cup with holes. No matter how much love they give, it'll never fill you until you patch the leaks. Self-love isn't bubble baths and affirmations, though those are nice. It's the gritty, unglamorous work of sitting with your loneliness instead of numbing it with fantasies. Choosing yourself first, even when every cell in your body screams to chase them. Admitting, I've been using this connection to avoid my own healing. Here's the cosmic punchline. The moment you stop making your worth conditional on their presence is the moment they feel compelled to return. It's not manipulation, it's energetic physics. You can't attract what you are, only what you match. Think of it like this. If you're a radio tuned to Please Love Me FM, all you'll pick up is static and mixed signals. But when you switch to I Am Enough FM, suddenly the transmission clears. Close your eyes. Imagine your twin flame standing before you, gazing into your soul. Now, what if you looked at yourself with that same reverence? What if you whispered the words you've been aching to hear from them? This is the test. Can you be your own safe haven? Can you romance yourself, not as a placeholder, but as the main event? Can you love so deeply within that their love becomes a bonus, not a lifeline? At first, self-love feels like letting go of the fantasy, the obsession, the identity of twin flame chaser. It hurts. You'll grieve. You'll wonder if you're giving up. But then something shifts. One morning, you'll wake up and realize their silence no longer feels like abandonment, but respect for your journey. Your joy isn't tied to their texts. you've become someone you'd want to come home to. And that's when the magic happens. Because twin flames don't reunite to fill voids, they reunite to celebrate wholeness, still clinging to the idea that they hold the key to your worth. Sweet soul, the door was never locked. You just kept knocking on the wrong one. Since when did love become synonymous with possession? Somewhere along the way, you convinced yourself that if you just love hard enough, if you just hold on tight enough, they'll have no choice but to stay. But darling, that's not love. That's spiritual hostage taking. Your twin flame isn't a prize to be won or a project to be fixed. They're a sovereign soul, just like you. And until you release the death grip of attachment, until you love them without needing them, you'll keep repelling the very union you crave. Detachment isn't indifference. It's not some cold, emotionless state where you pretend you don't care. That's not detachment, that's denial. Real detachment is loving someone so deeply that their freedom matters more than your fear. It's saying, I love you enough to let you find your own way. I trust our bond enough to stop forcing its timeline. If we're meant to be, no amount of space can break us, and if we're not, no amount of clinging can save us. Let's get brutally honest for a second. That desperation to keep them close, that's not love talking. That's fear screaming. If I let go, they'll forget me. If I stop chasing, they'll move on. If I surrender control, I'll be abandoned. But here's what fear won't tell you. What's truly yours can never be lost. Not really, not in the ways that matter. Can you love them just because your soul recognizes theirs, even if that recognition never manifests in the way your human heart hopes? Here's the wildest part. The moment you stop needing them to validate your worth is the moment they feel safest to return. Not because you played some cosmic game of hard to get, but because you finally vibrated at the frequency of wholeness, the only place from which healthy love can grow. You'll know you've passed this test when their silence no longer feels like rejection, but sacred space. Your happiness isn't contingent on their presence. You can genuinely wish them well, even if that well-being doesn't include you. And that, dear heart, is when you'll understand. Real love doesn't chain, it liberates. You've played the scene in your head 1,000 times. The dramatic reunion, the sweeping music, the perfect words, exchanged under a golden sunset. Maybe there's even a slow motion run into each other's arms. But here's the cold, hard truth your soul already knows. Your twin flame journey isn't here to fulfill your ego's script. It's here to burn it to ashes. That picture-perfect reunion fantasy? It's not harmless. It's a straitjacket you've sewn for the divine, a tiny box you're demanding the universe squeeze into. You've become so attached to how it should look that you're missing what it actually is. Think about it. When you obsess over the right way reunion should happen, what you're really saying is, I'll only accept love if it comes wrapped in this specific packaging. I trust my imagination more than the divine plan. My way is better than God's. Ouch. Here's the cosmic joke. You signed up for a twin flame journey thinking it was about getting the perfect partner. But the universe, being the ultimate trickster, is using this connection to give you something far more valuable: your wholeness. Every time you cry, "But this isn't how it's supposed to be," the universe whispers back, "Exactly, it's how it's meant to be." Letting go of your fantasy reunion will feel like a death, because it is. You're not just releasing a daydream, you're killing the version of you that needed that daydream to feel safe. You'll grieve, you'll rage, you'll bargain. But then, if you allow it, you'll discover something miraculous on the other side of surrender. When you stop demanding the universe follow your script, you make space for something better, the story your soul actually wrote before you were born. Maybe your reunion looks like a quiet conversation over coffee instead of a grand gesture, a friendship that deepens slowly instead of instant fireworks, a connection that thrives without the drama your ego craved. The irony? What actually unfolds will be more right than anything you could have imagined. Because while your ego plans in hallmark moments, the divine orchestrates in sacred synchronicities. This is your initiation. Can you release the need for cinematic proof of your love? Can you find beauty in the unscripted moments? Can you embrace a happy ending that doesn't match your Pinterest board? Here's how you'll know you've passed. When you can look at your messy, imperfect, gloriously real connection and whisper, "This is better than anything I could have planned." Still clinging to your romantic screenplay? Remember, even Cinderella's story required losing the glass slipper before the prince could find her. Sometimes the magic is in the mess. You stand at the edge of the cliff, toes curled over emptiness, and the universe whispers, "Jump." But there's no net, no safety harness, no guarantee you won't shatter on the rocks below. Just faith, the kind that makes your knees wobble and your stomach drop. This is where your twin flame journey either becomes a fairy tale or a ghost story, depending on whether you choose to believe in magic when all evidence says it's dead. Let's be brutally honest. If your twin flame connection made logical sense, everyone would have one. But it doesn't. It defies reason. It laughs in the face of proof. It thrives in the realm where silence is louder than words. Distance brings you closer. Separation is the strangest kind of intimacy. You're being asked to trust a bond that exists beyond texts, beyond physical presence, beyond what your eyes can see. And that's terrifying. Because what if you're wrong? What if you're just another fool chasing a mirage? Here's the secret. The moment you need proof, you've already lost the game. Think of your connection like Wi-Fi. Just because you can't see the signal doesn't mean it's not there, humming between you at all times. Your twin flame could be on another continent with someone else, radio silent for years. And yet, when you tune in, you'll feel them. That sudden warmth in your chest at 3 a.m., that song that plays at the perfect moment, that dream where they spoke without words. That's your proof. Not the kind you can screenshot or show your friends, but the kind that lives in the quiet spaces between your ribs. There will come a day, maybe today, when every logical bone in your body screams, "Let go. Move on. This isn't real." And that's when you'll face your final exam. Can you believe in the connection when they're with someone else? Can you trust the bond when they've blocked you everywhere? Can you know what you know, even when the entire world calls you delusional? This isn't about blind hope. It's about sacred knowing, the kind that doesn't waver when the 3D world throws its worst at you. Nature abhors a vacuum, but soulmates thrive in one. Every moment of silence, every ounce of distance, every unanswered prayer is actually strengthening the energetic cord between you, forcing you to find your own wholeness, burning away the last traces of neediness. The space isn't breaking you, it's shaping you into someone who can hold the voltage of divine union without short-circuiting. Here's how you'll recognize victory. When you can look at the void and say, I don't need you to validate this. I don't need signs. I don't need proof. My love exists beyond all of that. And that's when the miracle happens. Not because you manifested it, not because you earned it, but because you finally matched it. Still waiting for a sign? Sweet soul, the fact that you're still here, still believing, still loving is the sign. The universe doesn't reward those who quit at the 11th hour. You stand at the threshold now, love-scarred and hope-worn, the weight of every unanswered prayer still humming in your bones. This is where the magic happens, not in the grand reunion you've scripted in your mind, but in the quiet, unglamorous spaces between what was and what will be. There's a peculiar sweetness to this stretch of the journey, the kind only those who've loved beyond reason can taste. It's the bittersweet ache of a heart stretched wide enough to hold both faith and uncertainty without crumbling. You've outgrown the need for guarantees, yet somehow trust feels more tangible than ever. Funny how that works. This isn't passive waiting. This is active becoming. Every day you choose to love without receipts, believe without blueprints, show up for yourself even when the universe seems silent. You're not just passing time. You're etching your soul into a shape that can finally contain the love you've been chasing. Of course, it aches. You're walking the plank between two worlds, one foot in the tangible reality of absence, the other in the shimmering certainty of what's coming. The tension is unbearable until suddenly it's not. One morning you'll wake to find the weight has lifted, not because anything's changed externally, but because you have. The longing hasn't vanished. It's simply settled into your bones like an old friend rather than an open wound. The reunion was never the destination. It was always the bonus round. The real prize, the unshakable self-worth forged in solitude, the radical trust muscle built through uncertainty, the quiet knowing that no outcome can break you anymore. You could walk away tomorrow with nothing but the wisdom you've gained and still be ahead. That's how complete you've become. So breathe, beautiful one. Not the shallow gasps of someone clinging to hope, but the deep, measured breaths of a soul who's learned to trust her own rhythm. The test isn't whether your twin flame returns. The test is whether you can stand in your own light either way. And when you finally can, when you realize you've become someone who doesn't need this love to feel whole, only to celebrate it, that's when the universe winks, not with fireworks, not with fanfare, but with the quiet, perfect rightness of a door finally swinging open. just as you've learned you're complete with or without it. Still here? Still believing? That's your answer right there. The universe doesn't waste this kind of stubborn, illogical, glorious faith. Your story isn't ending, darling. It's just getting good.